Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Friday the 22nd of January's literacy lesson. So, what you need for today's lesson, and this is separate from your learning pack, and we're going to do this outside of our book as well, it should be a little pack that has this on the front cover and then a couple of lines throughout. It's like a little booklet. Okay, so you don't need to write any learning objective today, and because you will be bringing your home learning packs back today, we can't obviously work in books, so every Friday we're going to have a little bit of a free writing session, and I'm going to explain to you today. So our learning objective is to be creative, and today you are going to be free writing a story. Okay, so it's entirely up to you how you want to approach this, but this is my suggestion. So read the story starter and the picture below, have a look at it, have a look very closely. And then in about 20 minutes, plan a story. Now, it can be part of a story. It can be the introduction, or you can have a go at writing the whole story. It's entirely up to you. And plan it, just keep it simple. Use beginning, middle, and end, and write a few bullet points. Or if you really want to, you can draw a quick story map. I would have a go at writing the story in 30 minutes, and then editing the story in 10. Okay? So, here is our picture. So you can see, now this is actually a famous picture done by the street artist known as Banksy. Okay, so it's a real place. I think you can visit this somewhere in London. So it's a picture of a girl with outstretched arms, and she's let a balloon go, a heart-shaped balloon. And that is the only colour in that picture. And then up here, scrawled in the right, in the murk of the building, it says, "There is always hope." Okay, so it's quite a deep picture, if you want to look at it like that. You've got to turn this picture and this into a story or part of a story. So here is the blurb. In a world where everything seemed black and white, it brought colour. In a world where things were often bleak, it brought joy. The drawing of a girl's outstretched fingers pointed at the red balloon as it floated skywards. Many years ago, a real girl had held a real balloon, releasing it into the sky as she hoped her dreams and prayers would be answered. Now her image and her memory were etched on the very walls behind the spot where she once stood. Her story and that of the red balloon would be told for many generations to come. Can you tell the story of the little girl and the red balloon? Okay, so I've chosen to use this in a slightly different way. So my inspiration, and I'm going to show you my plan, is to make this into a little bit of a suspense/mystery story. And I'll explain that in a minute. So my rough plan, I'm not writing the whole story, I'm just going to write the introduction, and I'm going to leave it on a cliffhanger like we've been learning about. So the little girl in the picture, I've called her Rosie, and I'm going to put she vanished shortly after she let her balloon fly and nobody found her. 2 days after the painting was made, Eliza walked past and heard a whisper. Nobody else was there. The little girl was talking to her. She'd been trapped and needed Eliza's help. So that's where I'm going to go with my story. So I've done it. I've written part of it already. So this is just to give you an example of what I've done. I've tried to use our show not tell techniques and things like that. So I've done a little prologue, a little introduction here. So if you asked anyone who Rosie James was, they couldn't tell you. If you said the girl who let the red balloon go and had her dreams and prayers answered, I've just realised that needs to be a comma, more editing on the job, then they'd know. But what they didn't know was how or why she disappeared. And now I've gone into a dialogue opener. Local police are still carrying out their inquiries into the disappearance of Rosie James. Quite interestingly, a mural depicting the girl releasing the red balloon has appeared overnight in Jordan Street, Camden Town. Nobody knows who the artist was. Eliza looked away from the news, wiping the tears from her eyes. A black cloud had hung above her for days now, never leaving. Rosie had been her most beloved friend, and now she was missing. Eliza stood, got her coat, and left. So, this part here is the show not tell. So the wiping tears from her eyes, black cloud hanging above her head, is basically saying Eliza's mourning for her lost friend. "I'm going out, Mum. Be back soon," shouted Eliza. There was no reply. There never usually was. So we can say here that Eliba's mum, obviously it's not Eliba in my class, I'm using Eliba as a name, it's not the same person. So it's a little bit of a clue there that Eliba and Eliba's mum might not get on, or maybe her mum's deaf, something like that, little clue that might come across later. Eliba walked through Camden Town. Maybe she'd go and look at this mural, maybe it would lift her mood. And now I'm going to carry on. So she turned left into Jordan Street, and at first it seemed like the street was bustling with people, but strangely there was nobody there. Now I'm going to change this slightly because I've written something that I didn't mean to. She turned left into Jordan Street and expected the street to be bustling with people and bursting with life. But strangely, there was nobody there. Just Eliba and the mural. She spent what seemed like hours staring at it. Her eyes constantly drawn to the red balloon. To the red balloon. She missed her friend dearly and hoped she'd see her again. Again, I'm going to need to do another page. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding the mystery in. So, turning slowly, Eliba started to leave, and that was when she heard it. Psst, is what that says. Eliba jolted around, hairs on her arms raising. I'm going to get rid of that first her there. Hairs on her arms raising. The shiver crept down her spine. Nobody was there. Hello? Said Eliba, confidently into the street. Nothing. Oh, nothing. She was alone. She turned around again, thinking her mind was playing tricks on her. Eliba, said the voice, this time louder and clearly, as if someone was stood behind her. Now we're going to put Eliba there. She's getting a bit panicky now, isn't she? I wonder if we can put something in there. Said the voice, this time loud and clearly as if someone was stood behind her. Yeah, no, we'll keep that. This isn't funny. Shouted Eliba. Actually, no, I'm going to save that bit for later. I'm going to just copy and paste that. Who's there? Eliba demanded to the empty street. Empty street. Now, get ready for this. It's me, Rosie, replied the voice. So now we're going to put that. This isn't funny, shouted Eliba. Fear rising in her like the tide. Now we'll have to do another page. So now we're going to have the conversation again. Eliba, it really is me. Help. Or actually, I need your help, said the voice urgently. Eliba looked up and down the street. She couldn't see anybody. The street was bathed in light from the street lights, and there was nothing but smooth, nothing but rough, but the rough edges of buildings. So Eliba looked up and down the street. The street was bathed in light from the streetlights, and there was nothing but the rough edges of buildings. Nobody was there, and there was nothing to hide behind. All of the windows were closed. Actually, I'm going to change that. Of the few windows there were, comma, all of them were closed, shut. So now Eliba's going to respond. Where are you, Rosie? Asked Eliba. I'm here. Replied the voice. Trapped in the wall. Oh, I've missed my capital letter. I'm here, replied the voice. Trapped in the wall. Please help. Help me. She's coming. ... And that is where I'm going to leave my story. Okay, so really, really, really ambiguous ending there. So the reveal is that Rosie's in the wall, Eliba can hear her, and somebody's coming. So don't have to finish. You can do yours the same or similar, and if you write it straight into your little booklet, and then next week put it inside your home learning book that you get back today, that your parents or you will get from school today. Okay, all right, good luck year 6. Looking forward to seeing these stories. Okay, see you next week.